Hi everyone, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today we're going to be taking a look at reloading and why you may or may not want to reload. The main reason I reload is for volume shooting. I do a lot of 9mm, and now that I've gotten into cowboy action shooting, the season's in a lull right now because of the weather. Check your local listings. But I'll be shooting a lot of 38 Special. So I go to buy a box of 38 Special, just Federal 158 grain lead round nose, cost about $15 to $16 a box. That's about 30 cents a round. I can reload them for about half that, so I get to do a little bit more practicing and not have to hit the wallet so hard. I do a lot of 9mm reloading also, which is not really a big cost savings, but when the weather is terrible outside, raining, snowing, sleeting, whatever, it's nice to sit at the reloading bench and go ahead and turn out a few hundred rounds, and when the weather does get nice, you can go out and do some shooting. All right, the first thing you'll need to do is get some reloading equipment. It can be a little bit pricey. I choose to use Lee reloading equipment because the price is not that expensive. The availability is out there. There's plenty of places that carry it in stores. There's plenty of places online you can get it, even Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description, and you can check out some of their equipment. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you the use of the equipment, if you have any issues with the equipment, how to fix them and everything. And it's really good equipment to use. If you're doing some real high precision shooting, like some of the long distance shooters use, you might want to invest in a few more pieces. But mostly I do pistol rounds. I do a couple rifle rounds, and mainly because, again, it's cost. I shoot some 17 Hornet, and that costs about $1 a shot for a little tiny bullet. I can reload those for about 25 cents a round. It's still a little pricey, but it's a lot better than paying full price at the store. But all you need is powder, primers, and some bullets, and you're good to go. Once you've got the gear, get a little knowledge, check out, do some research and everything, put your rounds together. All right, guys, this is the Lee Progressive Press here. This is the Lee Loadmaster. It is a 5-station press. It puts out a round with every pull of the handle on there. You have your case feeder, you have your decapper, resizer, you have your primers get loaded in there, your powder gets charged there. You seat your bullet in the next station. The next station, you've got an option to put bullet length checker, whatever you want on there. And then each pull of the handle will go ahead and chuck around into the bin there. And you can really turn out quite a bit of ammunition with this thing. All right, the other press I've got here is a single stage press. This is probably their least expensive one, except maybe the hand press they've got. This one actually mounts on the bench. It's a single stage, so you do one step each time you pull the handle on this. Now, you have to change your dies each time. Here I've got the 38 caliber ones here, and I've got the quick change chuck on it there, so you can just drop it in, give it a little twist, and it's ready to go. You'll decap and resize your shell there. Then you'll take it out. Once you've done, you do them in a series. Do however many you're going to do, 50 rounds or whatever. Take it out. Go ahead and put your case charging one on there, and flaring. Do the same thing to each one of your rounds. Go ahead and charge them up. And then when you're done, this is a bullet seeder and crimping die. It do two things with one pull of it. So once you've got your round in there, you put your bullet in there, feed it up in there, and then you've got a completed round. It takes a little bit longer. You can still, if the weather is really bad outside, you've got plenty of time, you can do a pretty good volume with it. We're going to do a little bit of 38s on here because I don't have the right plate on my Progressive press yet to do 38s on there. I will be getting that. It's not a big expense, probably about, well, I think it's like $13 for this, and you can get another top plate where you don't have to keep changing your dies out all the time. You can do it one time, leave it in there, undo this screw, take the whole plate out, put your other one in to change your calibers. All right, usually when you buy a set of dies, it'll come with 2, 3, or 4 different dies in there, depending on which set you get. Some of them have a separate bullet crimp tool with them. But usually the Lee ones are going to come with, a 2 or 3 or 4 set, and it's going to come with a powder scoop and your shell holder, which is kind of a plus because a lot of times when you buy dies, depending on whether or not you're using a single stage or not, you may have to buy your shell holder separately. Now, one of the things I like to do is instead of using my resizing die to deprime it, I like to deprime them by hand, and I picked up this little deprimer here, and I can take the cartridge, put it in there, pull it down, give it a little squeeze, and it goes ahead and pops the primer right out of there. Now what that allows me to do is go ahead and throw this in my media tumbler and get the primer pocket cleaned out also while it's being polished anyways. It's not really necessary for you to clean these. I've seen people take them right off the range, put them in their press, decap it, resize it, prime it, and go without cleaning it at all. Problem is these are pretty clean here, but sometimes you'll get some that have got some soot built up on them, and you know, eventually, after many thousands of rounds, it may wear out your dies a little bit. The Lee pistol dies are all carbide dies, so you don't even have to lube your cases when you put them in there. Once you put it in the press, it'll squeeze up. You don't have to worry about it getting stuck. Pulls right out, moves to your next stage, you're ready to go. Now, one of the things you want to do is after you've fired these rounds, you go ahead and take your case and inspect it. Look for any cracks or splits or any damage to the case there. That way you know if there's a problem with the powder or your charge or your bullet weight or your combination of the whole situation. You also want to look at your primers to see if they're really flattened out. These still got a little bit of curve on the edges there, but sometimes if there's a really higher pressure, it will flatten that primer completely out. You can see bulges and splits in the case. These all look pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and deprime them and throw them in the tumbler and get them all cleaned up. All right, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Follow a good recipe, a proven recipe. Get a book, a good reloading book. A lot of the cans have reloading data right on them. Tell you the powder, the charge, the bullet, and everything that you're going to be using. Tells you how to load it. There's a lot more steps that I kind of, skip past, but you want to pay close attention to the way everything's done. Make sure everything is consistent. Make sure everything is proper. You don't want to have a light load or no powder in your shell at all and get a bullet stuck in the barrel and then have a good one right behind it, and that could be a bad situation. You also don't want to overcharge anything, double charge, triple charge. Some of these cases have a lot of room in them for a lot of powder. I'm only putting about 4 grains of tight group in there, and which is about what it calls for, but there's a lot of room in this case. You could easily triple charge this case and could be very bad situation. Do a lot of research. There's tons of videos on YouTube. There's some good information out there. There's some bad information out there too. But I'm not giving you any detailed information. I just want you to look at the reasons you may or may not want to reload. I've heard people say, well, I don't want to reload because I don't shoot that much. Why don't you shoot that much? Well, because it's pretty expensive. Well, if you reloaded, it would be a lot cheaper. You could shoot more. There's a lot of different reasons. Precision, practice, plinking, whatever you want to do. Take a hard look at why you want to do it. Look at the money it costs to invest in it. It's not that expensive, and once you get set up, it's really cheap cost per round to reload your own ammo. We're going to take some of these cases outside and try them in a revolver and see how they do. Whatever reason you use for reloading, whether it's competition, precision shooting, or just plinking, you'll save a little bit of money reloading your own ammo, you'll gain a little bit of knowledge, and when the weather gets a little nicer, you can go outside and have a little fun. Thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching.